The dark truth behind 6ix9ine's lifestyle will shock you.
You had 3 this year.
But also you're on probation, so you gotta move a little different though.
Yeah, shout out to my probation officer.
In July of 2017, the world met the eccentric Tekashi 6ix9ine. Born to a generation of rappers who flocked to the internet in hopes of fame and fortune, 6ix9ine was among the few that was able to capitalize on the SoundCloud scene and launched himself into superstardom. Although 6ix9ine has always portrayed himself as this rugged, rule-breaking renegade, you won't believe the stunning truth behind the character 6ix9ine plays online. Welcome to Lime Report. Before we begin, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and check out the link in the description to enter a chance at winning our Apple product giveaway. 6ix9ine is one of the most talked about rappers to ever hit the streets, and believe it or not, everything that's happened so far has been more or less by design. In the eyes of the media, 6ix9ine is nothing more than a kid who was obsessed with fame and made some bad decisions, resulting in his jail time and, well, you know how the rest goes. And while it's true that 6ix9ine has made some mistakes along the way, it would be foolish to think that the way his career has gone so far hasn't all been part of some grand scheme. What many have failed to realize is that rather than fold under the pressure of negative publicity, 6ix9ine has perfected the art of flipping negative situations in his favor. The young rapper entered the music scene promising to show the world the real life of a gangster. Though 6ix9ine was able to introduce the ultra street life into his performance, the dangers that came with his decisions eventually led the rapper to call it quits and rewrite his story. But could the revival of his career simply be the product of a young genius who knows how to talk his way out of bad situations? Or is there something more powerful in the background assuring the polarizing rapper's success? Thanks for joining us, everyone. Today, we'll be taking a closer look at the insane life of 6ix9ine. Don't go anywhere as we uncover the real reason 6ix9ine has been able to survive all these years. You won't want to miss any of this. 6ix9ine's story began in a small restaurant when a record label executive mistook the young man for a rapper. After apologizing, the exec told 6ix9ine that he had the right look to be a successful rapper and that he should consider pursuing music. At that moment, 6ix9ine's life changed forever. Prior to his rapid rise to fame, 6ix9ine lived a simple life as Daniel Hernandez in Bushwick, New York. Growing up, he struggled to find his place in the world, and losing both his father and stepfather early on in life didn't help. Realizing that it was his best shot at making it out of his poverty-stricken neighborhood, 6ix9ine worked furiously to build his new persona, and after releasing his hit, Gummo, his career rocketed to the top. In the matter of a single year, 6ix9ine was able to break through to the charts multiple times and quickly cemented his status as the next big rapper to come out of New York. While 6ix9ine's appearance and attitude definitely helped to bring attention to himself, the secret behind 6ix9ine's success lies deep in a web of darkness. When 6ix9ine first began his career, he knew that he would have to separate himself from the pack if he wanted to be successful. What the young star saw in the industry was a waning level of authenticity as more and more studio gangsters, or people that pretended to be from the streets in order to sell records, popped up and dominated the charts. Aware of the lacking realness, 6ix9ine decided to shock the foundation and presented himself as the realest gangster to ever hit the hip-hop scene. Determined to taste success, 6ix9ine was willing to do anything to ensure all eyes were on him at times. While his plan worked to perfection, placing 6ix9ine amongst conversations for New York's next king in no time, it came with some devastating repercussions that he still has to deal with to this day. Keep watching as we reveal the shocking truth behind 6ix9ine's success and the real reason he's been able to stay relevant despite all the backlash he's received throughout his storied career. Only here on Lime Report. When he first started out, 6ix9ine was by no means a real gangster. His first encounter with a gang of any kind was during his first stint in prison. While locked up, 6ix9ine met members of the 9 Trey Bloods and did his best to befriend as many of them as he could. Once he got out, he had a solid plan and put it in motion during his music video for Gummo. Before the shoot, 6ix9ine met up with a top-ranking member of the 9 Treys, Seco Billy, and proposed the two work together. 6ix9ine's star was on the rise, and in exchange for joining the gang and using their image, the rapper promised that he would fund the 9 Treys and get them into better neighborhoods. The deal was struck between the two sides, and with that, 6ix9ine's status as a real-life gangster was cemented. With the backing of the notorious 9 Trey gangster bloods, 6ix9ine was finally able to present himself in a way that he knew would win the heart of the internet. 6ix9ine's plan was simple. He was going to show the world how a real gangster lived his life. As many have said before, 6ix9ine's rise to fame came with all the trouble he was able to stir up. Like a bad car accident, people couldn't help but pay attention to every move the young star made from the moment he broke ground. 6ix9ine knew that in the age of the internet, live videos are the most compelling thing, and thanks to his wild persona and image, he was able to take full advantage of the technology at hand. 6ix9ine documented every single aspect of his life, all the highs and lows. He spared no details and even once went as far as calling out a hit against a fellow rapper while on Instagram Live. Fans sat back and watched in awe as the young star seemed to break every rule and somehow managed to survive all the windfall, coming up unscathed every single time. Yet even though 6ix9ine was the one that got himself involved with the 9 Trey Bloods in the first place, he knew the relationship was never meant to last, and when things got bad, 6ix9ine didn't hesitate to bail on the gang for 1 second. The same men that he used mercilessly to ride his way to the top were just as quickly discarded. When 6ix9ine was arrested in connection to the 9 Trey, he was faced with over 40 years in prison and made the stunning decision to fully cooperate with federal authorities. While some believe he simply wasn't cut out for the street life, other strong theories have popped up linking 6ix9ine to a much darker scheme to keep the rapidly growing hip-hop culture at bay. Stay with us as we dive deep into the truth behind 6ix9ine's roller coaster of a career and the real reason he's been able to prosper all these years. You won't want to miss any of this. When 6ix9ine first broke into the industry, he did so by pushing such a huge controversial issue that people couldn't help but watch in awe. As 6ix9ine was able to build his image, things were going great. But behind the scenes, and immense struggle for power within the 9 Trey became such an issue, it ultimately became the breaking point and led to the insane downfall of 6ix9ine. Tekashi was able to join the gang by befriending both Seco Billy as well as another high-ranking member in the group, Kifano Jordan. Known better as Shoddy, Jordan was on the rise in the gang, and his introduction of 6ix9ine in the 9 Trey only helped to boost his standing. Much to the dismay of some of his rivals within the gang, such as Anthony "Harv" Ellison, Harv already didn't like Shoddy, 6ix9ine's closest associate and his protector in the gang. According to text messages, which would later become evidence in court, it was clear Harv thought Shoddy was a loudmouth who didn't back up his tough talk with action, and Harv was suspicious of this rainbow-haired kid acting like a gangster. After multiple attacks from each side landed various members of the 9 Trey shot or in jail, things all collided when Harv and another one of his associates kidnapped 6ix9ine, stole $300,000 worth of jewelry from him, and got the rapper to admit on camera that he wasn't a real gangster. That incident marked the beginning of the end. Just weeks later, 6ix9ine would publicly disavow 9 Trey, first on Instagram and then a day later on The Breakfast Club in front of millions. And right after that, the NYPD, Homeland Security, and the FBI would culminate their 5-year investigation into the 9 Trey Gangsta Bloods by arresting 6ix9ine as well as several other members of the gang. With his arrest, 6ix9ine's dramatic run to the top of rap was over. He faced decades, if not life, behind bars, unless he did something drastic. It only took him 1 day to decide to cooperate with the prosecutors against the gang. 6ix9ine's decision to turn on the vicious 9 Treys shocked the world. Not only was he one of the biggest rappers to ever rep a gang so openly, he also would constantly boast about his authenticity and how real he was compared to his peers. So when he decided to snitch, it was hard not to laugh at the irony in the situation. Yet since his decision to rat on the 9 Treys, several wild theories have popped up as to what really happened. While some believe that the young Brooklyn rapper was nothing more than a fame-obsessed kid who got involved with a life that he was never fully committed to, others believe that 6ix9ine may have been an industry plant seeded by the government in order to help the hip-hop world at bay. The culture around hip-hop has grown tremendously and given many artists voices powerful enough to foster real change. So some believe 6ix9ine was planted as a way to shake the faith in some of the world's most beloved artists by showing the world some of the ugliest sides of rap music. Whatever the case may be, it's clear that in the end, 6ix9ine is willing to go to any lengths in order to ensure his success. No matter what the circumstances have been before, 6ix9ine constantly jumps into the face of danger for the sake of his musical career. The craziest thing about his decision to snitch on the 9 Trey is that now he will have to live the rest of his life looking over his shoulder. 6ix9ine built his entire career off of making fools out of some of his most powerful enemies by means of strategic internet trolling. Although his master plan has worked in bringing 6ix9ine's name into the fold of most influential, his means of achieving fame have come with some serious repercussions that most just wouldn't risk. While we don't know what will happen now that 6ix9ine has essentially made an enemy out of his entire state, we can be sure that the young star will continue to find ways to flip negative situations in his favor as his career continues to develop. But will 6ix9ine be able to outrun the 9 tray for the rest of his life? Or will his clout-chasing ways one day come back to haunt him? Thanks for joining us on Lime Report, everyone. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. And before you go, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and check out the link in the description to enter a chance at winning our Apple product giveaway.